So, Super Duper Mick on for the quad. Best manager ever in the world. We're the best squad in Europe. Best team in Europe. Best defense in Europe. 0. Washed up, finished Pep Guardiola with a rebuild. Yeah, half the squad turned up 15 months ago. Wow. 2. O'Reilly. Yeah, that's in my head, bro. Yeah, you mean you can jog on, bruv? Wagging your finger in my screen, bruv. 2. So cool. 35 minutes in, we're looking good. Gabby messes around. Gabby Magalhaes messes around. All of a sudden, we're under pressure. At halftime, this manager in his wisdom decides, yo, I ain't going to do a damn thing. I'm going to send them all back out there, and I'm going to wait until we get punched up twice. Then I'm going to bring on Calafiori, and I'll give him a pass, by the way, because he was our best attacker. Saliba, best defender. The rest of them can fuck off. Make sure you sub to the Southern Gooner. Matty, I swear we have watched this team all season, my friend. It is boring. We were so confident going into the game. You came with a retro shirt, the Dreamcast wheel toured on the settings. Yeah. I swear down there, everyone was confident. We know enough people that went to Wembley today. Everyone was confident. Man City fans weren't confident. They should have held 10 against Real Madrid. But lo and behold, this football club reverted to type. This manager reverted to type. Talk to me, bro.
Well, Lee, the fan base found out today that remedial football is complimentary. We have played remedial football for the last 2 months, and it finally caught us out today. Set pieces, corners, doesn't always happen like that, man. And when that dries up, we're in trouble. How many times have I said this year, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching the video? Teams that play with the ball on the floor cause major problems for us. We tried to be slick. They go to us right into playing with the ball. They say, no, we'll take the ball out of the air. We'll play with it on the ground. And what happened? Straight chaos. Lee, we have got to ask some questions coming out of this today. First question is, what was that manager thinking today? I'll tell you, he wasn't thinking. 1-0, you're down in the cup final. We don't get to these too often under this manager. And instead of him throwing the kitchen sink, he brings on Calafiori. Yeah, like you said, he came on attacking. But you didn't play Max midweek. You didn't even try to play him. So I'm thinking in my head that during this weekend, I even said it during the game, I said, he's probably saving them for the weekend.
No, I said it's a school day tomorrow. It's a school night, bro. He ain't playing Max today.
Yeah, and guess
school
what?
Night. He's going to school tomorrow, bro. He won't play him.
Yeah, so then he shows up today. He's just sitting there looking. He's not playing.
His face was a picture at the end, by the way.
Cool. So then
get out of the club while you can, Max.
I'm looking over. Jesus is there. I'm looking over there. You got Jesus. Martinelli is there. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, well, if he's going to make the changes to try to get the tide back, get the momentum back, he'd have to do this within the next 5 minutes. He waits to the 81st minute. Lee, you're down 2 goals in a cup final. A cup final. Look, I know some people would say, well, Max, we don't want to start him. You want to, protect, all that stuff. He was 25 minutes of football today. He could have played that. I'm not gonna say we would have won the game if he'd have played, but it would have been a wrinkle that Pep and the guys wouldn't expect. Instead, he goes back to his tried and true, his favorites. Let's talk about soccer. 300,000 a week. 300,000 a week. That's the performance that we're getting and it's a continuation from the last game.
You played the whole game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 90 minutes of total football there. He played that. He played Leverkusen. He's played all this time here. Now, if I can get on the Odegaard about his play, then surely I've got to get on Brother Soccer.
Racist.
Now, well, I'm going to tell you this. You're definitely not going to like what I'm about to say now. And I said this earlier to some individuals on the phone. If I don't see improvement next year, we need to have a discussion about maybe moving him on. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, that we need to start detaching from some of these players. I said this a few weeks ago. I said, we're going to find out who has the nuts, as Kenny would say, and who needs to be at this football club. And there's about 6 to 7 players that need to be moved on. It's time for some of these players to be moved on because we keep getting the same results in critical times. This, what we saw today, is a precursor to the Champions League. This is a precursor because I've said it time and time and time again. If you don't believe me, go all the way back to, I think it was Club Brugge. I said, if they had a player that could score any goals, we're in trouble. You go to Leverkusen, the first game, we had trouble there. You know. And then what do you see today? You play a team, somebody can score goals, wham. Down 2 goals. How many times this year have we been down 2 goals and had to come back? This is a warning now. I'm telling you now. Teams looked at that today. Oh, if you get Arsenal in a situation where they have to score 2 goals, you pretty much got them dead to rights. Lee, this manager put us in a hole today. That goalkeeper today, let me tell you, not another Chelsea player to this football club. Not another one. I'm not going to say it was 100% on him today, but I just want you to know when these Chelsea players come to our team, something bad always happens.
Matt Wakey.
Yeah, what did he offer today?
William.
Matt Wakey was out there.
Kepa. Check.
Matt Wakey looked like
29.
Matt Wakey looked like a deer on ice today.
Sterling.
Stumbling and bumbling.
Well, disgrace. Yeah, it's not all on him. Yeah. And listen, he played because he was the goalkeeper all the way through.
The strikers back.
However,
the striker.
we ain't won a trophy for 2,059 days, bro.
Lee.
Yeah, start your best players.
The striker is at the back, defending. He's out on the wing. Cherky. Oh, Cherky too. I mean,
what's a baller?
He was just dog walking us. And this is what I want people to understand.
Bro, he was doing kick-ups. Do you remember Richarlison? Yeah, everyone was taking and going mad about Richarlison. He shouldn't be doing that. I think it was against Burnley a few years ago. Yeah, he was doing kick-ups. Cherky is in a cup final, bro.
Yeah,
doing kick-ups
in our half of the pitch, Lee. Not
just doing keepy uppies.
Yeah, he's there looking. And you know what the sad part about that was?
And then he just bops it off like, nah, nada.
You know what? The sad part about that whole thing was Ben White is so injured, it wasn't a damn thing he could do about it. Ben White played that game, and this manager should be ashamed of himself for putting Ben White out there destitute.
Just
He's the shadow of the player that he used to be. Look at his legs. His legs don't even look good anymore. They're shot out. And then for the news to break after the game, Saliba's out there playing injured.
Who knew?
And
he's been played injured since Liverpool.
Yep. And what did you say? Yeah, something's been off. We've been saying it. We've been saying so he's off. Remember when we played Leverkusen? I kept saying, I said he can't win the balls in the air. He can't win the balls in the air. If the ball,
I thought Saliba played well today. However, if you look at their first goal, Matt, yeah. Where were our centre backs? Why was Remedial?
Remember, he was right. He was back at one point in the first half, and I kept saying, I said, "Why is he over there? Why he's at left back?"
In Cappy right back, he's left back.
And then Calafiore comes on. He's in midfield.
He was in striker at one point.
Yeah. You know what? At the 45th minute of the game today, Ethan and Wanera was scoring goals over at Marseille.
Yep.
We could have used something like that today.
Did we miss Odegaard today, or is he?
It wouldn't have mattered. And he needs to be moved on in the summer too. Odegaard, that is. Needs to be moved on. We have got players in this team, Lee. I'm seeing the same thing. When you're seeing the same thing over and over, you have to diagnose the problem. Some of these players cannot handle large spotlights. It's cool when you're playing Mansfield Town. You're playing all these these smaller Vale and Preston, you're playing these teams. Southampton. That's cool. Kai Havertz. Because when today, when we need you to put on a performance, what you do? Status quo.
But he's bulked up, mate. He's bulked up. Apparently, he's bulked up. That guy looks skinnier than me, bro.
I said again, Lee, remedial football is what we saw today. Remedial. This was basic Becky football we saw today. This is absolutely unacceptable in a cup effing final, Lee. A final. And this is what I keep wanting to hammer home. You don't get these opportunities all the time. You may think because the squad we have that we want to get to the finals all the time, but it's not guaranteed. I know this because I've lived it, I've watched it, I've breathed it. I have never seen us win a cup final. I have seen us lose a lot of them. I have seen us lose a lot of them and add this one to the list. This I told DJB and Novsky and the guys this afternoon. I said this was worse than any of the other losses that we've had in the final in the last 20 years. This is the worst. Because at least when we lost to Chelsea in 07, we tried. We tried, Lee. Man City just had a hell of a team.
Oh, who started that game and scored? Oh, Theo Walcott.
You go. Yep.
And he scored. First goal for the club.
Not that.
But Max Diamond can't get a game.
Yeah.
Wow. Diamond, get out of the club, bro.
Yep. His best move is to go out on loan. He needs to be on
save your career, brother.
He needs to be. And I said it during the summer. I said, if we're not going to use Max Diamond like we need to be using him, he needs to go out on loan. And we all know how that video went. But if you know, you know. But now I've been proven right again. I keep telling you, this manager is, if I can figure him out, everybody else can figure him out. You've had Pep all season long, looking lost, confused, scratching swords into his head, wearing polyester suits. He's out there looking like somebody's uncle.
Talking about suits, why didn't he wear a suit, bro?
This manager, well, that might have changed the complexity, the perspective of the game if he put on a suit.
Every single Arsenal manager at Wembley has worn a suit. Unai Emery in Baku wore a suit. He had a jumper, however, he still wore a suit. When this guy turned up in Prada, well, I was fuming. Yeah, you're at Matty. I know for you as an American, if you're at your national stadium, you want your manager, so even if it ain't your team, bro, walk out loud and proud, chest out, suited and booted.
You know
national what, stadium, bro? This is Wembley, brother, the most iconic stadium in world football. Yeah, Matty, you know this as an American. I was on the phone with Oregon Goon. I was on the phone with Neftali last night. I was with Miss Moldova. She's sporting a hangover. Yeah, so she's been asleep all day. I said, I don't think you understand how big this game is today. Yeah, and I phoned both of them and Gianni, all three of them as foreigners overseas. Yeah, I said, how big's this game? How big's Wembley? They were like, yo, Wembley, other than the World Cup, the FA Cup is the biggest. The league, obviously, it wasn't the FA Cup, but the League Cup, it's Wembley. Yeah. All three of them said it to her, yeah? Because she don't understand football, which is calm. And I'm like, this is a massive game for Arsenal. Yeah, it's at Wembley. This is our national stadium, mate. Yeah, and fair enough, he's a foreign national running our football club as the manager. But bro, it's Arsenal. It's Wembley. Wear a fucking suit, mate. Lee, little things like that, mate, you piss me off.
You know what, Lee?
Maybe I'm nitpicking.
You know what concerns me about this game, too? Another thing that concerns me about this game. Erling Haaland didn't even get out the car today. Didn't even get out of the car.
My dad texted me, yeah? I haven't even opened it, but I see it pop up on my PC, yeah? My dad texted me. Here it is. You lost to 10 men, mate. Haaland clearly carrying an injury. Looks like a late night for you. Lol.
Yeah.
That's what he texted me. I've only just opened there, but I see it pop up on the. Yeah,
And
Haaland, you lost against 10 men.
Lee, we've
Bro,
got
Phil Foden and Erling Haaland are loading it up like king cock of the walk, bro.
watch this, Lee, and we've got to go to the Etihad. And I'm supposed to believe we couldn't beat them in a home game. Because no matter what you want to say, that was a home game to me.
Couldn't beat him at a home game. Couldn't beat him at Wembley. Now we've got to go there.
That was a home game. Wembley was a home game.
Thank you. First time he's lost at Wembley as a manager or a player.
We're at home. We're at home.
I ain't seen all the fallout afterwards. So I've been live and recording.
Regardless of what people want to say.
Guarantee he's gone. The fans were amazing, guys. Because he always talks about the fans, mate. They were amazing. I guarantee he said that. Do you know why? Because he knows them fans in that stadium were getting fucking sacked. He's lucky that lockdown happened when it happened, yeah? Because when we were getting banged by Aston Villa, Wolves, Burnley, Leicester, he wouldn't have survived. Ian Wright even said on Sticks of Football the other day, they're on Gary Neville and the Overlap, whatever it's called, yeah? Ian Wright even said, yeah, because it was unpopular opinions and get your questions in. Somebody put a question in, yeah, and it was, if Unai Emery had the backing Mikel Arteta had, would he have won the league and or more than Arteta? Right, he said yes. And that is Ian fucking Wright, bruv, the biggest twerker of our club. Ian Wright said, yeah, I think Unai would have won the league. Yeah, Roy Keane said, yeah. Wayne Rooney's going, yeah, I think he probably would.
Lee, I'm going to tell you like
this,
man.
The facade's up, mate, yeah? Like, win or piss off. And even if he wins, mate, I always call trophy. Like, if he'd won today, I'll keep him another year. Yeah? But at the same time, I get why people say if he wins the league, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Is he going to do it again next year?
That was the advertisement for it right there, Lee. Because you're in a situation, you're in a final. I don't care. People can spin this however they want to spin it. You're in a final for opportunity to win a trophy and set the pace for the rest of the season. And now you got those demons coming back. Those demons are coming back, Lee. And people are looking around. We got an international break. We come back. We got Bournemouth. That's not going to be easy. Evan Nielsen tore us a new one. Then you turn around, you got City after that. Then you've got Newcastle after that, in conjunction with FA Cups and Champions League fixtures. We've got to, they've got to find a way to pick themselves up off the floor. And I can guarantee you that today not the win out of some of those players. And we got to get players healthy, quick, fast, in a hurry. And people keep going on, if Timber played, if this played, well, we played City with Tim and the team before, and everybody else, and we had the same result. So you tell me, Lee, this season is far from over. It is far from over. In today's game proved that. And the sad part about it was that City didn't even play at 100%. They probably played at about 60% today, and we couldn't get over the line. Some questions need to be asked. And whether you Arteta in or you Arteta out, you need to start asking some questions about the aptitude that can this manager get players over the line. That is the most important thing.
What he can do is he can get players injured real quick and ruin their careers. Bukayo Saka, Ben White, Yurin Simba, Martin Odegaard. Yeah, Martinelli has destroyed him. Yeah, Trossard looks a shadow. Yeah, and we're not talking about the bags under his eyes. Yeah, the striker. Yeah, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's an absolute fucking disgrace. He brings on fucking Madueke, bruv.
Lee, I'm just give everybody a word of caution. The Champions League is coming. Sporting Lisbon is going to be much tougher than what we've played the last.
I think we've got an easy path to the final, mate. Yeah, Luis Suarez is coming for us, brother.
Yeah,
Ignacio, Trincao.
Yeah,
they've beaten us before, bro.
Yeah, that won't be a walk in the park.
Yeah, on that bombshell, Matty. Appreciate you always.
Yeah, man.
Tomorrow, if you're free, obviously the usual Monday show.
I'm gonna be listening. Now I gotta work tomorrow, man. I sure hate I'm gonna miss it, but I will be listening.
I don't blame you for swerving that, bro. Get your money, mate.
Yeah.
Get your money, because these men are nicking a living. Yeah, and they've got their money tonight, and they're going home. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
half of them don't give a fuck, mate.
I'll say this before we go, Lee. It frustrates me, man, when we get to cup finals like this, and you just can't get over the line. And it's just that if you go play football, how is it that a team that's in a relegation battle can go to play City and they play with everything and get something from them? Or these other teams, you know, can get something off of City, and then when we play them, we lay an egg. We just straight lay an egg like a chicken on a 6 o'clock.
Chicken on the ball, like
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Just like, you know, it's ridiculously, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's frustrating, especially when you're in a final. That's the thing. That's all I keep thinking about is we were
Hey, we
in.
didn't even bother. We
And
didn't
then
even try. Didn't
then
even try, mate.
I mean, Lee, we lose,
25 minutes, cool. After that, didn't even try, mate.
we lose that game on the last kick or something like that, or you hold your hands up. But when you get punched,
Our
in the
keeper never made mad saves.
that's what I'm saying. I
People
forgot.
weren't making mad saves.
Lee, I
Shirky was taking the piss out of us.
I forgot until Shane told me that Donnarumma didn't play today because we didn't even challenge the goalkeeper today.
Mate, make sure you sub to Southern Guna. I'm going live right now. I'm going to get some guests on. I asked Potsy, but he's on the way to the airport. He's had enough. He's getting out of the country, bro. Matty, appreciate you always. Enjoy international break. Get your money, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, get your money, bro. Fuck this football club. We go again, Southampton, 4th of April. I'll be real. That ain't even easy because they've won about 10 out of their last 11 home games. I think they're unbeaten 11 at home. Yeah, don't be surprised we get knocked out of Southampton. Yeah. And on that bombshell, we're out. Yeah, love.